morning everybody. Today, after discussing the two long-term solvency ratio, that is debt to equity ratio and funded debt to total capitalization ratio, today we are going to discuss about the proprietary ratio. Okay, proprietary ratio is otherwise known as what? Equity ratio. This proprietary ratio and equity ratio are same. So who is the proprietor? It is the shareholder or the owner or the proprietor. So proprietary ratio, or it is known as what? Equity ratio. Equity ratio, proprietary ratio or equity ratio. Okay, so what is this particular ratio is all about? It is the ratio between the shareholders fund to the total asset. It is the ratio between the shareholders fund to the total asset. Look at everybody, shareholders fund, we know what should include under the shareholders fund. The equity share capital should include the equity share capital, then preference share capital, then reserve and surpluses we have to include. Okay, and undistributed profit also has to be included under the shareholders fund, and this is the total asset under denominator. So this ratio shows the long-term solvency position of a particular company. If this ratio could be higher, then we can say that the long-term solvency of the company is quite good. If the particular ratio is low, then we can say that, we can conclude that, or we can interpret that the long-term solvency of the company is little bit low. So for knowing or evaluating this long-term solvency position of a concern, you need to calculate this proprietary ratio or equity ratio with the formula shareholders fund by total asset. Okay, take an example. If the shareholders fund is something like 4 lakh, okay, so 4 lakh is your shareholders fund, that is given shareholders fund then the total asset is around 6 lakh. Then what is the formula of proprietary ratio or equity ratio? This is the shareholders fund divided by the total asset, that is how much? 4 lakh by 6 lakh. So with this formula you can calculate the proprietary ratio or the equity ratio. So if you want to express, so if you this is a ratio 2/3. If you want to express in percentage also, so 2/3 into 100 also you can multiply, and you can mention in terms of what? Percentage, that is 66.67% it is coming. So what is that? This ratio indicates the extent to which the assets of a company can be lost without affecting the interest of the creditor of the company. What is this ratio indicates? Without affecting the long-term creditors. Long-term creditor means it is the debenture holder or any kind of loans you are taken from the financial institution or the bankers, without affecting those. When a company get liquidated, if this particular ratio will be more, then because of the particular company, if any loss arises, if this ratio is higher, then for the long-term creditor there is not much impact to the long-term creditor. That is the charm of this particular proprietary ratio or the equity ratio, which can be calculated for the shareholders fund to the total asset. Okay. So higher is the ratio, better is the, we can say the better is the long-term solvency of the particular company. So this is known as what, everybody? Proprietary ratio or equity ratio. This is one of the important solvency ratio after the debt equity ratio and funded debt to total capitalization. And this is the third one which is coming under the, to test the long-term solvency position. Long-term solvency position means what? Whether whatever the profit you are earning, whether you are meeting the demand of the long-term creditors or not, whether you are able to pay off your interest or the long-term responsibility towards the creditors or not, whether you are paying the interest to the debenture holders or not, whether you are on time, you are paying the principal as well interest to the bankers or financial institution or not. So to check that one, these kind of ratios has to be calculated. So this first ratio that we discussed, debt equity ratio, thereafter funded debt to total capitalization, and thereafter this proprietary ratio or equity ratio. Next ratio is solvency ratio. So solvency ratio, just opposite to that particular property ratio, solvency ratio can be calculated. You have to deduct 100 minus property ratio. You have to deduct from 100. So last example, if you observe, the property ratio from that particular shareholder fund is around 4 lakh and 6 lakh is the particular total asset, and we got the equity ratio or property ratio is around 66.67%. So based upon the example, so how to calculate this solvency ratio? 100 minus 66.67%, then how much we are getting? Around 33.33%. This is the simple formula, 100 minus property ratio, that is known as solvency ratio. But what is exactly solvency ratio equals to? It is the total liabilities to outsiders divided by total asset. Okay, total liability to the outsider divided by the total asset. So how much the liability towards the outsider divided by total asset? If this ratio, while calculating whatever the figures we are getting as much as low, then we can say that the firm's position is quite good. If the total liability to outsider is increasing, that means that is higher and higher or more and more, that means the long-term solvency position is not good. As the property ratio, you are saying that higher is the property ratio, better is the long-term solvency. Reverse to that, or opposite to that, in case of solvency ratio, that means lower is the ratio, more will be the satisfactory. More is the satisfactory. In case of what? In case of this solvency ratio. Okay, but in case of property ratio, higher is the ratio, more will be the satisfaction. But here in case of solvency ratio, lower is the ratio, better will be the satisfaction, or we can say long term solvency position of a company could be quite good if the ratio could be low. So this is known as what, everybody? Solvency ratio. Next ratio is fixed asset to net worth ratio. Fixed asset to net worth ratio, or fixed asset to proprietors fund. Okay, so fixed asset to net worth ratio or fixed asset to proprietors fund. Okay, that can be calculated with this formula, fixed asset, that is FA, fixed asset divided by proprietors fund. Okay, so proprietary fund is otherwise known as what? Shareholders fund. Fixed asset divided by proprietary fund or shareholder fund, that is known as what? Fixed asset to net worth ratio or fixed asset to proprietary fund. Okay, so let's take an example. Fixed asset is around 4 lakh and shareholders fund also 4 lakh. Then the ratio will come 4 lakh by 4 lakh. Okay, if you want to multiply with the 100, you can multiply. Okay, as per your wish, because always the ratio can be, we can interpret the ratio in percentage, so that's why. So it is coming around what? 100%. So if it is below 100%, what does it depicts? Look at everybody, when it will be below 100%, if fixed asset to proprietary fund, if the proprietary fund will be more and fixed asset will be less, then the ratio, whatever the ratio we are getting, that definitely below 100. Okay, so if the proprietary fund will be less and fixed asset will be more, fixed asset will be low and proprietary fund will be more, then whatever the ratio will get, that will be definitely low. And if the fixed asset will be more and proprietor fund will be less, then that definitely will more than 100%. Okay, so what does it implies if it is more than 100% or less than 100%? Okay, if it is less than 100%, so if the fixed asset to shareholders fund, so when it will be less than 100, okay, if the ratio will be less than 100, so when it will be less than 100, you check. When the shareholders fund will be more than the fixed asset, it will be definitely less than to the 100, whatever the figure we will calculate. If that could be the case, then a part of the fixed asset should be financed from the short-term sources of fund or from the working capital sources also you can finance. If it could be the reverse, if the fixed asset should be more than the shareholder fund, then you should finance differently. So always remember, fixed asset to shareholder fund, the ratio will be something like 60% to 65%. If the rule of thumb says that if the fixed asset to shareholder fund is, if it is between 60% to 65%, then we can consider that as a satisfactory. If this ratio is less than 100%, it implies that own funds are more than the total fixed asset and part of the working capital is provided by the shareholders fund. Okay, then if the ratio is more than 100, it implies that own funds are not sufficient to finance the fixed asset. So but you have to remember these are the important things. This is the rule of thumb for this. The ratio should be in between 60 to 65%, which is considered as a satisfactory, or we can accept that whether a company is good in terms of this fixed asset to net worth ratio, if the whether the long-term solvency is good or bad. So if it is in between 60% to 65%, then we can say the long-term solvency ratio in terms of fixed asset to net worth ratio or fixed asset to proprietor fund or shareholder fund, that is better. Next one is fixed asset. After the shareholders fund, fixed asset to shareholder fund, now we are discussing fixed asset to long-term fund. Long-term funds. Okay, fixed asset to long-term fund or fixed asset to total long-term funds. Okay, so the formula is simple: fixed asset divided by long-term funds. Okay, so for the fixed asset, something like, but remember, whenever you are calculating the fixed asset, that should be after depreciation. After depreciation means what? The depreciation has to be deducted or should not be deducted? It has to be deducted. Total long-term funds, not long-term funds. The total long-term funds should be there in the denominator, and fixed asset after depreciation should be there under numerator. Okay, so let's take an example. If the fixed asset is around 4 lakh, okay, that is fixed asset after depreciation, then total long-term funds, that is around how much? Let's take 5 lakh. Then the fixed asset to total long-term fund can be calculated 4 lakh by 5 lakh. Okay, we have to multiply with the 100 always. So it is coming around how much? 80%. So what does this particular ratio indicate is that this ratio indicates that how much extent the total fixed assets are financed by the long-term funds of the firm. How much total fixed asset you are financed from the long-term funds, that is the important, or that is the important part of this particular ratio. How much extent the total fixed assets are your financed from the long term funds, and generally the total fixed assets should be equal to the total long term funds. Okay, generally the total fixed assets should be equal to the total long term funds, or say 100%. That it says that the fixed asset and total long term funds should be equal. Fixed asset, if it is 10 lakh, then total long term funds should be 10 lakh only. If it could be the case, then we can say that the ratio is quite satisfactory. If fixed assets should be more than the total long term funds, then what could happen? If fixed asset is less as compared to the total long term funds, then what could be the happen? Okay, so if fixed asset exceeds the total long term funds, then what will happen? It implies that firm has financed a part of fixed asset from current asset. If fixed asset is more than the total long term fund, then we can assume that the part of the fixed asset should be financed from what? Current firm, or we can say short term assets, that particular or short term working capital positions, we are finance that particular fixed asset. So that ratio is known as what? Fixed asset to long term funds. Then the next ratio will be ratio of current asset to proprietor fund. Proprietor's fund. Okay, ratio of current asset, clearly it we can assume that, okay, this the current asset should be there in numerator, and proprietor's fund or shareholders fund should be there in denominators. So this ratio indicates what? It indicates how much extent the proprietor fund are invested in current asset. So this ratio indicates what? How much extent the proprietor fund is invested in current asset. Okay, and there is no such rule of thumb for this particular ratio of current asset to proprietor fund, and that depends upon the organization, that depends upon the nature of or type of business you are doing. So current assets divided by shareholder fund, how much of the fund of the shareholder is financed from current asset, that is the ratio. Everybody, this is the question we are going to do. Look at the question. There is a balance sheet of Bhubaneswar Limited as at 31st March 2016 given. The equity and liabilities, what is the figures given? Equity share capital 3 lakh, preference share capital 1 lakh, and reserve and surplus 50,000 given. Then non-current liability 10% debenture given, long-term loans given, current liability is given 2,25,000, long-term loan, that is 25,000, then 10% debenture is around 2 lakh. The total of this equity and liability is around 9 lakh. In case of asset, fixed asset given, that is 6 lakh, and investment given 50,000, and current asset is given around 2 lakh 50,000. Okay, and the total is around how much coming? 9 lakh. So asset is equal to liability. And from this figure, we are going to calculate these ratios, that is debt equity ratio. On bracket, what is written? Long term debt to equity. What is written? Long term debt to equity is written. Okay, means the current, the long term debt to equity means debt, long term debt. Current liability is not a long term debt, it is a short term debt. So you should not include the current liability whenever you are calculating the debt equity ratio. Then property ratio or equity ratio we have to calculate, then solvency ratio, then fixed assets to property fund ratio, then fixed assets ratio, and current asset to property fund ratio. So all the long term solvency ratio that is being discussed so far is those all ratio we have to calculate. Okay, so what are the things we are going to calculate? We are going to calculate the debt equity ratio first. So what is debt equity ratio? Debt equity ratio का मतलब क्या है? Debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio. पहले debt आएगा, उसके बाद क्या आएगा? Equity आएगा. Debt equity ratio में. So what is that? Outsiders fund. What is the formula? Outsiders fund divided by shareholders funds. Shareholders fund. So outsiders fund divided by shareholders funds, which will come under the debt equity ratio. So what is outsider fund? Outsiders fund means मतलब क्या है? It is a debenture holders you have to take, and in this question is also given long term debt you have to take. So outsider fund means the debenture holders you have to take, and sundry creditors and current liability we used to take, but as on the bracket, in the bracket it was given that long term debt to equity, so that's why all the long term only we have to see, not the short term. So what are the long term? Okay, that is given 10% debenture given, that is the outsider fund, plus another thing which is given, the long term loan. Okay, long term loan, how much given? That is around 25,000, and 10% debenture, that is given how much? 2,25,000. Okay, so outsider fund, now we are calculating outsider fund, the 10% debenture will be there, long term loan will be there. Okay, 10% debenture, the value given how much? 2 lakh. Okay, and the long term loan, that is given how much? 25,000. So 2,25,000 is your outsiders fund. Then shareholders fund. Shareholders fund, how to calculate? This is outsiders fund. Okay, then shareholders fund. So how to calculate shareholders funds? It can be calculated with the formula equity share capital. Okay, equity share capital plus preference share capital plus reserve and surplus. Okay, equity share capital क्या दिया है देखिए क्वेश्चन में. So it is around 3 lakhs given in the question. Equity share capital, then preference share capital is given 1 lakh, and the reserve and surplus is given around 50,000. So total is how much? 4,50,000. So debt equity ratio can be calculated with the formula outsider fund divided by shareholders fund. So outsider fund, it is coming around 2,25,000, and the shareholder fund we got how much? 4,50,000. So how much the ratio is coming? The ratio is coming like 1:2. Okay, usually we tell that, okay, if the ratio is 1:1, that could be good, but it is 1:2, means outsider fund is less, whereas shareholders fund is more. So that's why we can tell that this ratio is not satisfactory, we can say. But the debt equity ratio is around how much it is coming? 1:2. Okay, that is the first ratio we calculated. Then the next ratio we are going to calculate is proprietary ratio. Okay, so proprietary ratio, what is the formula we discussed? The formula is shareholders fund divided by, okay, total asset. T means total asset. How much the shareholders fund? We already calculated the shareholders fund is how much? 4,50,000, and total asset that is given in the balance sheet, that is how much? 9 lakh. So it is coming around 50% or 0.5. Okay. That means what is that? Here 4,50,000 is there, and 9 lakh is the total asset. Okay, so shareholder fund is around 50% of the total asset. Then solvency ratio. So how to calculate the solvency ratio? That is total liabilities to outsiders divided by total asset. Okay, how much the total liability to outsiders? Okay, how much the total liabilities to outsider? Check the total liability to outsider is how much? That under this it will come, debenture will come, the long term loan will come, and the current liability will come. Okay, so total liability means both current liability as well as long term liability you have to take. Okay, so 2 lakhs, that is the debentures. Then 25,000. What is that 25,000? That 25,000 is nothing but it is the long term loan, and the current liability is given how much? 2,25,000. Okay, so what is this? This is the total liabilities, the numerator, total liabilities to outsiders. So how much is coming? This is 2,25,000, this is 2,50,000 plus 2 lakh. So how much it is coming? 4,50,000. And the total asset that is given 9 lakh. So how much? The formula 4,50,000. Here I can write 4,50,000 by 9 lakh. So ultimately how much you are getting? 50%. Or how can you can get the answer directly? 100 minus proprietary ratio, the solvency ratio equal to 100 minus proprietary ratio. Proprietary ratio कितना है आपका? 50%. So 100 minus proprietary ratio equal to solvency ratio. Direct formula is there. 100 minus proprietary ratio. So 100 minus 50%. That is how much? 50%. That is we got already. Okay, so this is the solvency ratio. You can calculate it alternative way, this one, that is 100 minus the proprietary ratio or total liability to outsiders. Both the long term as well as short term liability you have to take to calculate this solvency ratio divided by total asset. So proprietary ratio we calculated and we calculated the solvency ratio. Thereafter we have to see what ratio we have to calculate. Thereafter we have to see fixed asset. Okay, fixed asset to proprietors fund, proprietors fund, fixed asset to proprietors fund. So fixed asset divided by proprietors fund. Okay, fixed asset, how much, which is not a current asset, is a fixed asset. That is fixed asset given in the question, that is 6 lakh. And the proprietary fund, that is already we are calculated, already we have calculated, that is around how much? 4,50,000. So how much the ratio is coming? It is coming around, okay, 1.33. It is in decimal, but in the percentage, how much it is coming? 133.33%. This is the fixed asset to proprietary fund ratio. Okay, thereafter fixed asset ratio. Fixed asset ratio, how it can be calculated? The fixed asset by total long term fund. Okay, so fixed asset, how much? The fixed asset, that is 6 lakh given in the question. Total long term fund, we already calculated the total long term funds. Okay, not total liability, total long term fund means here I have to include the shareholders fund plus this long term borrowings. Okay, so 6 lakh is your fixed asset. The shareholder fund we already calculated, that is around 4,50,000, and your long term borrowing is on 2,25,000. So 6 lakh by 6,75,000. 6 lakh by 6,75,000 is coming around 0.888. That is 88.88%. That is coming fixed asset ratio. And the last ratio is current asset to proprietary fund. Okay, current asset to proprietary fund. Okay, so current asset आपका numerator में रहेगा, the proprietors fund or shareholders fund will be there in denominator. Okay, so current asset that is given 2,50,000 and the proprietary asset we already calculated 4,50,000. So it is coming around 0.555. So how much? 55.55%. This way you can calculate these various ratios, that is we discussed so far H. Okay, another and the last important long term solvency position ratio to test the long term solvency position of a particular company, we have to calculate another ratio, that is debt service ratio. Debt service ratio or interest coverage ratio. Interest, INTEREST, interest coverage ratio. What do you understand by this ratio? Okay, so the formula of debt service ratio or interest coverage ratio is net profit before interest and tax, before interest and tax divided by fixed interest charges, fixed interest charges. So this is the formula, fixed interest charges. So this debt service ratio or interest coverage ratio can give you an idea about how many number of times from your net profit the interest is covered. More will be the number of times in a year from your net profit, that is net profit before interest and tax, you are able to pay your fixed interest charges. More will be the time. That means we can say that the long-term solvency position of your concern is quite good, because that shows you are having a better long-term solvency or liquidity position of your company is quite good. Okay, because the net profit is sufficient enough for your business to cover this fixed interest charges that you are going to bear in the long term. Let's go for a problem. What is given? Net profit after tax, net profit after tax. Okay, given how much? 75,000. The question given net profit after tax, how much? 75,000. Then fixed interest charges. Okay, that is given how much? 10,000 it is given. And the information given, income tax rate is how much? 50%. So what we have to calculate from this information? We have to calculate the debt service ratio or interest coverage ratio. So how to calculate the debt service ratio or interest coverage ratio? That is net profit before interest and tax. Okay, यहाँ पे net profit after tax दिया है 75,000 दिया है. Okay, so before interest and tax. So what is the tax rate given? That is around how much? 50%. The tax rate is 50%. Then what could be its value before charging the tax? It will be how much? It will be 1,50,000. So before tax, and before tax it is 1,50,000 the net profit, and before tax, and what is given? Before tax and interest. So net profit should be before interest and tax. Okay, so before interest and tax. So how much the interest? Interest means that is fixed interest charge, it is 10,000. So 1,50,000 plus 10,000. So net profit before interest and tax is how much it is coming? 1,60,000. Okay. Then what is the fixed interest charge? The fixed interest charge is how much? 10,000. So the formula you can use here, that is 1,60,000 divided by 10,000. So ultimately how many times? Usually we refer in time. So particular year around 16 times we are paying the fixed interest towards our fixed interest bearing securities. Okay, around 16 times we are paying from our net profit, around 16 times.